Well, Monday will mark the midpoint of a very unusual legislative session at the Indiana Statehouse.
A session that began with national headlines as lawmakers shot down the push for congressional redistricting. In the week since, they've sifted through hundreds of other bills, and a key deadline is just days away. Our Statehouse reporter Emily Longnecker joins us now with the latest.
Well, the week here at the Indiana Statehouse started off slow because of Monday's weather. Yesterday, the Senate wrapped up its work on the first legislative half of session by voting on several bills. Monday, it will be the House's turn to wrap up its work. That is the last day, the deadline for bills to be voted on if they are to have a chance to advance. A big focus for both Republicans and Democrats going into session was affordability. Lawmakers in the House are taking a crack at Indiana's spiking utility costs and housing costs. Bills dealing with those are advancing. A bill that would completely reshape how Indianapolis Public Schools, one of the state's largest districts, is governed, along with the charter schools in its boundaries, is up for a vote in the House on Monday. If it passes, it will be the Senate's turn to consider it. In the Senate, a bill that would ban cell phones in schools is now headed to the House for lawmakers there to look at. Another bill now headed to the House is one that would create a stadium authority to lure the Chicago Bears to Indiana. The Senate overwhelmingly passed it with a vote of 46-2. And a bill that could make more money available to Indiana's child care voucher program also passed out of the Senate. That money would come from a fund called the Financial Responsibility and Opportunity Growth, or FROG Fund. Money in that fund can only be used in certain ways. Thursday, the Senate approved using some of the FROG Fund's $300 million for the child care voucher program that helps lower-income families pay for child care. The voucher program saw cuts in last year's budget. Now it's the House's turn to consider if it agrees with what the Senate did. Republicans and Democrats have different takes on the measure.
We will expect that move, if it passes, then we think it will, to put downward pressure on the daycare costs that everybody's experiencing right now.
It is a Band-Aid. And it actually doesn't address the fact that we've lost many of our child care centers already by the cuts to reimbursement that we saw over the summer.
So Monday marks the last chance for bills to be voted on in the House, like that bill on the IPS restructuring. Again, we're at the halfway point, so bills that have moved out of one chamber now head to the opposite chamber where the process starts all over again. At the Indiana Statehouse, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.